I'm ready to dive into the first law. And this one is perfect for you if you ever feel like resistance to abundance affirmations or all these money attraction practices. I've been doing these affirmations for many years now, and particularly with money affirmations, people are all over the map. Some people feel empowered with them, but some people go, God, I don't know. I say these affirmations and I'm struggling with money and it just doesn't feel right. This is going to help you big time with that. There are even people that go so far as to say affirmations don't work, which, by the way, in case you didn't realize, is an affirmation itself. You tell the universe affirmations don't work, the universe responds with, and so it is. They're not going to work for you. And so this first one is really going to address that. And you probably never heard of this law expressed in this way. But if you're ready, let's dive right into it. The first law is the law of suspension. What the heck does that mean? Let me introduce this first law in this way. I'm sure that you are a fan, hopefully, I'm assuming, of movies, like fiction, books, novels. You probably, if you haven't read some books, you've probably at least seen some movies. And let's consider some classics from over the years, like Harry Potter, Star Wars, The Lord of the Rings, these epic classic movies. You also have things like E.T., The Wizard of Oz. So let me ask you a question. When you enjoy those movies, hopefully you can resonate with one or more of those. Think of a movie or group of movies that are some of your favorites, or books too. TV shows, it applies to. Do you really believe that what you're seeing is actually happening? Do you treat seeing something like Harry Potter? Do you think you're watching a documentary and this is reality that you're watching? Of course not. You suspend your belief to enjoy this fictional story that's playing out in front of you. Otherwise, you'd go crazy examining everything and questioning whether that's not real. They can't really do that at Hogwarts. There's no such thing. It's a Gandalf and a wizard with all this stuff. So you suspend your disbelief. So here's a definition of what that means. Just a one-sentence definition of what it means to suspend your belief, hence the law of suspension. But it's you temporarily allow yourself to believe something that isn't true, especially to enjoy a work of fiction. I did a little research here, and according to Wikipedia, that phrase, suspension of belief, was coined by the English poet and philosopher Samuel Taylor Coleridge in 1817. In a book that he published back then, he wrote a sentence that described it as the willing suspension of disbelief for the moment, which constitutes poetic faith. Ooh, I like that. Poetic faith. And I believe he was referring to the suspension of belief with live theater and probably whatever novels and literature was being created at the time. All right, so I just want to introduce that topic. Let me ask you another thing, and then I'm going to go deep into how you can use this to attract money. All right? Have you ever heard of the phrase, happy place? Go to your happy place. What does that mean? Or what does going to your happy place mean? It's not literally a place. It's something you go to in your mind. But what does that mean, you go to your happy place? That's, for instance, if you feel stressed, like this is quite often the situation that happens when people refer to this. They're stressed, they're angry, they're frustrated, and you want to relax. And so what do? You might meditate. You might imagine in your mind that you're on a beach. Maybe you're in this lush forest. Maybe you're on a mountaintop, right? And so you imagine in your mind, you go to your happy place. And why do you do that? And let me ask you this question, though, first. Do you actually believe when you're going there, especially when it works? Oh, I'm relaxing. So you're either imagining some place that you've never been before, or you're thinking of a memory of a time when you felt relaxed, right? It could be, again, on the beach, in a forest, out in nature quite often. But in that moment, when you're imagining this, do you actually believe you're on that beach? Do you actually believe you're on that mountaintop in that moment? No. You suspend your disbelief, and here's a key sentence here, and I actually put it in bold on my notes here just so I can stress it here. You suspend your disbelief so you can achieve a desired state or feeling. It's basically a mental technique that you use to change your body chemistry, to change your whole attitude, so you could achieve a certain state or a certain feeling. And that is how I want you to approach the idea of attracting money. Because you hear these terms like, I need to vibrate at the frequency of abundance. And a lot of people, there's some people that are like, well, what the heck does that even mean? And if you're struggling with money, because usually when you seek out like abundance affirmations or things to increase your frequency around money, it's usually not because you got a ton of it in the bank. Usually your motivation for seeking these things out because either you're struggling, there's debt involved, or maybe you just want to earn more. Maybe you're doing okay. All your basic needs are met, but you just like to have a surplus, right? Which you can use to not only help yourself, but help your family, help your community. There's so many things that you can do when you have a surplus of money. So there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And so what a lot of times people do is they hear these terms like, oh, I need to vibrate at the frequency of money. I need to raise my money vibration. I need to say my affirmations, but you don't. You say them and your brain's going, but you're broke. What do you mean? You're not abundant. Okay. What you need to do is apply the same principle that you apply to movies and books to this topic of attracting money. Because here's the thing. If you're the type of person that was applied the same affirmations don't work idea to like movies and books, nobody would ever want to go to a movie with you or to a play because you'd be sitting there the whole time and going, wait a second now, there is no Tin Man. No, monkeys don't fly. That's ridiculous. And you'd be like a killjoy. Nobody would invite you to their parties. But you don't do that because you choose to suspend your disbelief to enjoy a work of fiction. But quite often, you're not taking that same approach when it comes to this whole vibrating at the frequency of money thing. So if you're trying to raise your vibration around money and raise your attitude, doing these affirmations, if you don't believe it, you're not feeling it, that's okay. Apply the same suspension of disbelief and just act as if. Play a game, play a role. In the same way that suspending your belief allows you to enjoy a movie, going to your happy place will actually change your body chemistry and your whole mental attitude. You're able to improve your health. It has real tangible results. Even though you're not really on that beach in your happy place in that moment, it can positively influence you. So suspend your disbelief around this whole thing about vibrating at the frequency of money, and I think you're going to benefit greatly. Neville Goddard famously said, or I love this quote, it's 7 words. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And so your wish is to have more money. Maybe you have a dollar amount in the bank or an amount of money that you like to consistently bring in. It's really not the money that you want. It's the feeling that you believe that the money is going to allow you to experience. So identify that feeling. Is it like security? Is it safety? Is it contentment? Is it pride? Whatever that feeling is, assume that feeling now, even though you don't have the money. What is the feeling the having of the money will give you? That's really what you're after. It's the feeling. So assume the feeling of your abundance and prosperity and money wish fulfilled. And if you're one of those people who's going, that's not true, treat it like you're seeing a movie. Assume that feeling. Go to your happy place. Suspend your disbelief just so you can get the desired effect, okay? I'm really going to stress this more than anything else because I don't think it's addressed enough. You just see all these people online and elsewhere just taking these controversial positions on like they've figured out the way to self-improvement and to earning money, and they make these proclamations. Affirmations don't work. You're doing it all wrong. And I'll never make blanket statements like that, rarely about anything, because you can take the same technique and it works for some people. It works great for some people, not so much for other people. And a lot of people, it's neutral, right in the middle. So it's not the thing itself. It's not the words that you say. It's like what's the intention behind it? How does it make you feel? That's the real barometer. The law of suspension. Suspend your disbelief if you don't believe it. And maybe if you get to the point where you are believing, that's even perfect. That's even more ideal. You want to get to that point where you are it. You are vibrating at the frequency of abundance. You are money. You are abundance. You are prosperity. You're an embodiment of it. But until you get there to where you have a knowingness about it, it's okay to play make-believe. It's okay to suspend your belief just to get that desired state, okay? I think I've made my point there. So the bottom line is, you suspend your belief all the time when you enjoy movies and books. Apply that same principle to abundance. If you liked these affirmations, you'll love the Impact Formula Lab. That's where I help heart-centered, purpose-driven people like you turn their talents, wisdom, and expertise into impact and income. Just visit bobbakerinspiration.com/lab to learn more. You'll also find that link in the description below. This is Bob Baker from bobbakerinspiration.com and author of The Power of Affirmations and Positive Self-Talk. Thanks for listening. So long for now.